So good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining our session today. My name is Nicole Mulaku from the Training Center in Communication, and we are happy to have you join us for today's training session. With me, my team, I have Mr. Nicholas Outa, who is going to be our trainer for the day, and our collaborating partner, Mr. Mohammed Mohammud, who has been working with us in hosting this webinar. So, Mr. Mohammed, welcome you to give the opening remarks, and then Mr. Outa will take it up from there.
Thank you, Nicole, for your introduction. And hello, everyone. I greet to the Director of TCC Africa, the presenters of this webinar, and my fellow Somali Librarians, SLL team, library staff, researchers, and other information professionals from public and private institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, as a librarian and the president of Somali Library Association, I am so happy to welcome all of you to this big event, the first time ever we are having such a huge webinar under the SLA. Today is a special day because all Somali libraries are coming together as part of our association. We are all here to work together and make sure everyone in our community has access to knowledge. Back in early times, Somalia, we have faced tough challenges, especially when it comes to reading and learning since 1991. Not as many people have been able to read, which has made things harder for us. Also, it's been tough for our universities to get the books and resources they need for teaching and research because they are so expensive. And there aren't many places where people can share their research output for free, which makes it much harder for our universities to be known around the world. But even these challenges, Somali Library Association is here to assist. We want to make sure that everyone in Somalia has a chance to learn and grow, no matter what, and that's why we are teaming up with great groups like TCC Africa to make it easier for everyone to get the information they need. Today's webinar is a big step forward for all of us. This is a chance for us to learn from each other and to make plans for a better future. So let us all work together, make new friends, make Somalia a better place for learning and reading. Thank you in advance for all presenters of this webinar in general, for your great knowledge share, and the Director of TCC Africa in particular for her engagement. I hope you find interesting participants and do organize another need-based webinar to all Somali libraries as well. Thank you all for being here, and let us make today the start of something amazing. Thank you, Nukili. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammud, for the introduction. And indeed, this should be the beginning of some good things to come. I think it's also a very good initiative by the universities, by the Library Association, to really organize some of these things. I think some of us, some researchers, you find it difficult to know where do I get papers to read, or how do I read papers when I find them, or how do I network with other people within my field. Sometimes it becomes a bit of a challenge, even at the university and at the various research institutions. So it is a good thing if we can be able to meet like this and share ideas, and also, try to show the different researchers and scholars, this is where you can get information, this is how you can share your information if you have it. This is where you can publish your papers, this is where you can get your papers to read. So it's a very good thing, and it's indeed, a step towards the right direction. Myself, I'm Nicholas Outa. I am at the tail end of my PhD. I'm doing my PhD in fisheries and aquaculture. I have also been a trainer for TCC Africa for several years. I've been training and supporting early career researchers in the issues of scientific research, scientific writing and communication, and things around that. And basically, TCC Africa, our training center in communication, supports researchers in anything that deals with the scientific writing and communication. So part of what we are doing today is sharing with you some of the resources that you can use in your research journey. So for those who are here and they are maybe at the university, or those who are here, they are at the university either as researchers or lecturers, or they are at the university as lecturers, for example, or they are at the university as students, you will see how these two tools that I'm going to share with you can help you in your writing and also in your academic journey in terms of getting literature, looking for grants, looking for projects. I'm going to share some of these tools. The first tool that I'm going to talk about is called Dimensions. And the Dimensions is what we call a research discovery tool. So Dimensions will help you know where to get papers that you can read to help you do your research. Or if you have a student that you are guiding and you want to tell this student that I want you only to cite papers that are 5 years old, or I don't want you to cite papers that are this old, or I only want you to cite papers from this specific country, you can easily do that on Dimensions. I will show you how. I'm going to demonstrate. The second thing that Dimensions will help you do is you are in the field of, let's say, education, or you are in the field of economics, or you are in the field of fisheries and aquaculture like myself, or you are in the field of medicine. And you want to know that within my field of medicine, what are the projects that are currently ongoing, so that I can also be able maybe to tap into them, or I can be able to approach these people and tell them, hey, I have seen a project that you are running between the year 2024 to 2027, and I think I'm interested, I want to be part of it. How do you discover the projects that are currently running in your country, in your field, and also, knowing where people are publishing, all these things? I'm going to show this. Why is this important? This is important because so many researchers maybe want to collaborate, but you don't know who to collaborate with because you don't know who is currently running, doing projects in your field, or you don't know who is funding research in your field. You could just be seeing projects running around and you don't know who is funding projects. Now, that is the first thing I'm going to demonstrate. It's called Dimensions. The second thing I'm going to demonstrate, the second tool, is called Scholastic. Scholastic, once you have now downloaded papers, let us say you have downloaded these papers from Dimensions, and now you want to start reading them. And maybe English is not your first language. Even for me, English is not my first language. I have just been taught English in school. English is not our first language. Mostly when we grow up, even in Kenya, we speak Kiswahili. So we struggle a lot with English. So sometimes when you start reading papers, it's not very easy for you to summarize and get the right information from that paper and get the key points, because English is not even our first language as Kenyans. So for somebody who English is not your first language, you are learning English in school, sometimes when you want to read a whole paper by yourself and summarize it, it becomes a big problem. But now I'm going to show you an AI tool, a tool that is based on artificial intelligence that will help you summarize the paper. So you don't have to read it one by one. You just throw it into that tool. The tool will summarize, will synthesize that paper for you and tell you, these are the key points, these are the take-home messages, this is how you can summarize this paper. And if you want to cite it, for example, you can summarize. So I'm going to show all this. So I was just trying to give you the background of my presentation so that when I start the demonstration, you understand what I mean. Now, for this to make sense, I have to show you, I have to demonstrate, because if I just talk about them without demonstration, then you will ask yourself, you have been talking about these two tools, but we don't know how to use them because you did not show us how to use them. So in my next step, I'm going to show you each of these tools. How do you use them? Okay? How do you use Dimensions that I've talked about? How do you use Scholastic? And at the end of it, we are also going to play you a recording of where you can also now, if you have books, for example, you've written books and you want to archive them or you want to index them, where do you index your books? Because I know there are researchers here and lecturers and students here who maybe have written books or they want to access certain books to read, but they don't know where to get those books from. So there will be three tools. Mine will be demonstrating the first two tools, Dimensions and Scholastic. And with that, I want to start sharing my screen. I want just Mr. Mohammud to confirm to me if I've been clear enough so that I can continue, or if maybe I'm not very clear, I can raise my voice. Just confirm before I now get into the real demonstration.
Nicholas, it is confirmed. We can hear you very clearly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I will now share my screen so that you can be able to see what I mean when I talk about dimensions. Now, the first thing I want to show, and I think Mr. Mohammud will agree with me, if you are here from a university or a research institution, there is something that is called research for life. Now, if you want to access dimensions, you can just Google the word dimensions and find it on Google, but then that will be very, you will not, there are so many things you will not access when you just Google it directly. But if you want to access dimensions with all the features that I want to show you, you have to go through research for life. So each university and each organization in Africa, I think those established organizations, including in Somalia, have unique login details for research for life. So just go to your librarian in your university or in your organization and tell them, hey, I want to access research for life. Can you give me the login details? There are so many universities, even in Kenya here, that have those details, but researchers do not know, so they don't even access research for life. Now, when you go on Google, you just Google research for life. I'll show you how. I'll just a minute. Let me share my screen here. Okay. Now, when you go onto Google and you want to access dimensions, just go and type research for life. Just like that. Then you hit enter. It's going to give you, yeah, so this is what you're going to get, okay? This is what you're going to get. You're going to get research for life, then just click on research for life. Once you click on that, it's taking a bit of time, I think, because of the internet, and I'm also sharing my screen. Once you click on that, it will take you to a login page where you are going to put the credentials that your university is going to give you, or your research librarian. Just go and ask your librarian. If your university has a librarian, go and ask them that you want to access research for life so that they can provide you with the research for life details so that you can be able to log in. I don't know why it's taking a bit of time to, it's taking a bit of time. Let me just share again. So once you okay. The other one, I don't know why that page did not load, but I just want to take you directly to once you Google research for life, it's going to bring you here. Once you Google research for life, it should bring you here. It will bring you to a page that looks like this. So this is the page you are going to get once you Google research for life. I think you can see research for life up here. When you Google research for life, it's going to bring you to a login page like this one. Once you get to this login page, page like this one, each university or each research institution has its own unique login details. So you will have a username, your university librarian or your research, the librarian you are dealing with will give you this unique ones for your institution. So you will put the username, you will be given the username. I am very sure that they are in, the librarians have them. You will be given a username and you will be given a password. So just put the username and the password and then log in to Research for Life. Now, once you log in, you are going to come to a page that looks like this. You are going to come to a page that looks something like this. Then under that, there is content, there is collections. I hope you can see up here. We have content, collections, and all. Right now, we want to look at dimensions. There are so many things in here, but what I want to demonstrate to you today is dimensions. So once you log into Research for Life, you are going to come to this page, then click under content, and then go and click on databases. Log into Research for Life, click under content, then click on databases. Once you click on databases, it's going to list several databases, and then we will scroll down and go to dimensions as one of those databases that we are now going to deal with. Now, when you come here, of course, we are seeing that here you are seeing there are so many databases. I say you click on data on collections, and then you put databases. You see, we have so many databases, but then we want to click on dimensions. So just click on dimensions. So this is where you are going to come to. I just want one person to unmute and tell me how many publications you can see here. Maybe one person, just unmute and tell us. How many publications are you seeing? Anybody?
I can see 145,000, 45 million.
Mm-hmm.
And
So you are seeing
18,564.
Yes. So now those are the number of publications that are on this database that you can read, you can download and read and cite. Now, this database helps you access publications. It can also help you access data sets. It can also help you access grant information. So grants are projects that are currently running in your respective areas. It can also help you access patents, clinical trials, and even policy documents. Now, that is why the Dimensions is a very powerful database. So from here, you can get publications that you want to read. You can get data sets. Maybe you want to do some research and then you don't want to collect data. You want to say, okay, I really just want to use data that was collected by someone, and then I can analyze it differently as long as I cite the source of that data. So here you can access publications, data sets, grants, patents, clinical trials, and policy documents. Now, on your left, there are several filters that you can use, because when you go to any any database or any website, you cannot just go there and start, you use filters to help you really focus your search. Otherwise, if you start searching here without applying any filters, then a lot of things will come and some of them will be useless to you. Now, the first filter we have is publication here. Here we are just talking about publications alone. I will show you when we come to grants, how you can get grants. But now let's talk about publications. You just want to get papers to read. Now, you can filter by publication here. Here, it means that you can determine which years, I want to only look at papers that were published between 2024 and 2020, for example. So if you want papers that were published between 2024 and 2020, you just click on the circles in front of those years. And then once you do that, you click limit to. I hope you are seeing down here. You click on this limit to. Then it will only bring you publications that were published within those years that you've selected. You see, we are down from 145 million to 30 million because we have only put the years 2020 to 2024. Let us remove that filter and then go back to all of them. Now, I want us to click on this and you can see how far back you can go. The papers that are on dimensions can go back to 1665. We have papers that are as early as 1665 on this site. So you can see if you are a researcher or if you are a student and you are doing what we call like comparative literature analysis or meta-analysis of literature, then you can see how far back you can go. You can go to 1837, all this. So you can really go back to a very long time behind if you really want to do research. Now, that is the first filter we are talking about. We talked about the publication here. The second filter is, I want us to filter by country. Let's start by country. So let us say, in fact, I will not ask which country to use. I'll just type the word Somalia. So once you click the word Somalia, then you limit to. When you click on limit to Somalia, we are now only looking at publications that are from the country of Somalia. So all the information you are seeing here are from Somalia. Okay? Now you can see here that the countries you are seeing listed here are those countries that have been working together in the field of academia and research and projects with Somalia. So there are some research that have been done between Somalia and maybe organizations in Somalia or university in Somalia, United States, UK, Sweden, Kenya, Egypt, Malaysia, Italy, India, Nigeria. So researchers from Somalia are working with people from these countries. Now, the other thing I want to do is you can come here after filtering by country or territory. You can come here and click on research organization. we want to see, you see, Somalia National University is coming up. It is the first university, it is the university with the highest number of publications in the country of Somalia. You see, we have University of Somalia, Benadir University, Amaud University, Mogadishu University. Now they are listed in the order in which the number of publications are coming out. You see, now you can decide that I only want to get publications from this university alone. When you click on that and you limit to that university, you are only going to get publications from that specific university alone. Now, the other thing is you can also click on researcher, and let us see when you click on researcher, who is the highest researcher the researcher with the highest number of publications from Somalia. We have somebody called Mohammed Sheikh Hassan. Maybe some of you know him. Mohammed Farah Yusuf Mohamud. These are the people who have the highest number of publications from Somalia. Now you can imagine how you can filter. You can go using all these filters. You see? Now, let us say you want to see who is funding research in Somalia, which organizations are really sending money to Somalia for research and for, you see, we have WHO is funding, Bill and Melinda Gates, medical. So these are also the organizations that are, when you come under funder, you can now find the organizations that are funding research in Somalia. Now, when you come to research categories or publication type, for example, you want to see how many articles are coming out of Somalia, for example. So we have a total of this number of articles. We have preprints, we have conference proceedings, we have book chapters, we have monographs. Then you can also look at journal list. Where are researchers from Somalia publishing? Where are they publishing actually? So these are the journals where the researchers from, these are the list of journals where researchers from Somalia are publishing. But then if you want to know the specific journals, you just come to source title, and then you see most of them are publishing in Annals of Medicine and Surgery, Research Square, the Journal of Law and Medicine and Ethics. You know, these are the journals where these people publish. Now, this one is about publications. I want us to clear all these filters and go back to where we were. Now here there is no filter. We are filtered by country. Now I've shown you how to filter by country, how to filter by research organization, depending on what you want. You can now apply all the filters. But now that was about publications. Now let us say you have done all those filters, then you now want to get a specific paper. Let us say you want to get a paper from, let's say we will filter again. I will show you, we will filter again using Somalia as the organization, as the country. So we are looking for papers from Somalia, but then we want to look at research category. In which field of research? So field of research here, you can come and check, okay, I want to look for papers from Somalia, but in the field of, let's say in the field of health sciences and maybe public health and clinical sciences. And then you limit it. So now we are only getting papers from Somalia that in the field of health sciences or public health or clinical sciences. We have 899 papers. After you've done this, you can come on the side, click here, and then you can now type keywords. Let's say we want to talk about infant mortality. Just to make it a bit, we have said we want papers from Somalia in the following fields, but then when you type on infant mortality and then you click enter, you find that it's now going to give you specific papers that are related to the keywords that you have put there. But it's easier for you now to get the papers you want because you have put all the filters you want. So that is how you can then, let's say you have identified a paper. Let's say this is the paper that has interested you. You just click on that paper and then Dimensions will direct you to the website where this paper is. You see now we have the paper here. When you click on this arrow, it will take you directly to where this paper, the site where this paper is. You can download and read. But then when you come here, the other thing I wanted to show you is you can find all the papers that were cited by that paper that you are reading. And then you can follow them and download and read them. They are all active. You can easily follow and read. This is why it is very easy for you to use this as a tool to find literature that you can read, because then through one paper, you can now be linked to the other papers that have also been cited by that one paper. So you don't have to go around and look for other papers and do fresh kind of search again and search afresh. No, you can just come here and say, okay, how many papers has this person cited? You can, okay, this is a paper that has been cited by these people. So you can easily click, go and check, click, go and check, click, go and check and read. That is how powerful this is in terms of when you want to get literature to read. Now, the other thing that I want to show you here is about grants. That one was about publication. So publications, as I'm telling you, you can go and just play around within your field and just find whatever it is that you want to find in your field. But now I want us to look at, that is publication. I want us to look at grants. Which projects are currently running in Somalia? Which projects are currently running in Somalia? So it means that after you've filtered by country, then you can come and click on grants, and then you can see the grants that are currently running in Somalia. Imagine all these are projects that are in Somalia right now, research projects that are in Somalia, funded. Now, once you come here, you can go and click on researcher so that you see who is the researcher who is running most of the projects in Somalia. See this person called Hagi Mohammed Hassan. There's Ahmed Ali Siyad. These are people who are currently running projects in Somalia. You can easily reach out to them and, reach out to them, for example, and tell them, I've seen a project you are running and, all these things. But then when you come to each grant, when you click on a grant, let's say this one, let's say this is the project that is, because this one is running between 2024 to 2026. So this one will still be running. There's this one that is also funded by the European Commission that is running between 2023 and 2025. So this one will end next year. But let's say this is the one that has been interesting to you. So what you do, you just come and click on that. And then once you click, it means that it might not be that Somalia, but there's a university in Somalia that is participating in this project. You see the university that is participating. Kenyatta University in Kenya, we have Masinde Muliro University, and then we have Mogadishu University in Somalia. So we also have Red Sea University in Somalia. Those are the universities that are participating. So you can easily find all the details about this. The abstract is here. Then you can also see what we have similar grants. So you can easily reach out and say, okay, I've seen similar grants maybe in other countries, or is it possible that I can be part of this? So that is how you can use this site, in terms of patents, clinical trials. So, but the most important thing I wanted to show you was how you can use the different filters. Now, when you come to these things, the most important thing is it's difficult for you to know how to use all these filters and all these powerful things just when I sit here and explain in 10 or 20 minutes. The most important thing that I want to challenge you is go to your librarian, ask them for Research for Life credentials, and then once they give you this, just access dimensions and try to play around with it. Just try to play around with these things. You see, even under grants, you can still go and check start year, active year. You want to see, I want to find grants that will be active in 2024 and 2024 and 2025 on. When you click on limit to, you will only find grants in Somalia, for example. Here we did not put, okay, now let's go back and put Somalia here as a filter. Somalia. Okay. Now you see, now we are looking at grants that are in Somalia that will be, we only have one grant right now that is running in Somalia. This one that University of Mogadishu is participating and collaborating with other scholars, other universities. You can easily play around with all these filters. And who is funding this research? The European Commission. If you remove the year and then you want to say, I want to see all the grants in Somalia, we have 53 grants in Somalia, of course, at different years. And you want to look at who is Somalia collaborating. These are the countries that Somalia is currently collaborating in terms of grants and also in terms of research and projects that are currently running. So, and also you want to look at the organization that is running projects. Somali National University has been running 13 grants. University of Hargeisa has 8. University of Nairobi. So it means that this might not be universities within Somalia, but they are collaborating with the university, with the universities in Somalia or a university in Somalia. Okay, so you can easily reach out and say, okay, I've seen 13 projects at the Somalia National University. Is it something I can be part of? Now, you can easily, and also when you come and click on analytical views, it means that it gives you now like a more robust kind of view of what is happening. So you want to look at the kind of research categories that are happening right now: human and society, commerce, health sciences, developmental studies. So you can click and say, okay, I'm only interested in education. Click on education. All this will be changed so that you can see the ones that are really specific to education. So my challenge to you today is that you need to go and really try to explore, how to work around this dimension thing and see how best you can use it now to either, you remember when we started, I started by showing you how you can use it to get papers and how you can use it now in terms of mapping out grants that are currently running in the country. So mine is just to challenge you to go back and check. You see, we have publications and we have grants. So if you are going here to look for papers to read, you go under publications, and then you can now be able to search for publications that you want using all the filters that I had shown you. But if you want to go here and look for grants, you can just come here and click on grants, and then you can apply the filters that I had shown you. If you want to say, okay, I'm in the field of clinical sciences, or maybe in the field of medicine, I want to look at what are the current clinical trials that are ongoing in Somalia. Let us see. We have 2 clinical trials that are currently ongoing in Somalia. So this will become continuing between 2022 and 2024. There's one that ended in 2017, sorry. So you can just click on what you want. Policy documents. I want to just check about policy documents in Somalia. Maybe you are in the field of policy and you are told to look at policy in a certain field. Just come here and look under policy documents and just check under which country you want. And then you will easily find whatever you want. So go onto this site and try to, just play around with the filters, play around with, the variables that are here. And then you see how best you can be able to get, how much you can be able to get out of this site. As I said again, it's difficult for me to explain, and so that you can say that you know how to understand and use this site just when in one sitting, like just explaining in one sitting like this, that might be very tricky. But what you can do is just go and ask your librarian for Research for Life login details. Once they give you Research for Life login details, you log into Research for Life, click under content, go to databases, and then scroll down and find dimensions. Once you go to dimensions, you will find what I'm showing you here. And this one is what you can now be using to demonstrate. And this is what you are going now to be using to also, if you have researchers that are in your university or in your research institution, if you have students that you are guiding, you can easily guide them and tell them, go and look for papers in dimensions, because there the filters are more. So you can filter by year, you can filter by all these things, you see. So that is what my challenge is for you using this first tool. Now, I have shown you the first tool. Now, let us assume that you came to dimensions, you downloaded a paper, and now you want to start reading this paper. But then, as I said, there is a tool that can help you read this paper in a better way, rather than when you start reading this paper word by word. You want to start reading word by word and then summarize and find keywords. It's going to be very difficult. Now, if you have downloaded a paper and this paper, you want to start reading it, there's no need of reading it word by word. I'm going now to my next demonstration is going to show you an AI tool that will help you read that paper in a way that is more sustainable, and also in a way that is not time consuming. So you're going to save a lot of time when you use that tool to read your paper, instead of when you just want to read it, word by word. You start reading word by word, and then you start taking notes and summarizing. I'm going to show you a tool that is going to help you summarize, this paper in a way that is very easy for you to find out the most important parts that you can now go and cite and use for in your own writing. So that is my next demonstration. So I will stop sharing this, and then I will share. I think I will demonstrate the second tool, and then I will allow people to ask questions once, so that we don't also waste time in between. And then, so just keep your questions. We will answer them at the end of the demonstration. Okay. Now, I will show you. I don't know whether I have stopped sharing or I have. Just 1 minute, I'm looking for, okay, this one here. So I want now to show you a tool that can help you read your papers. Like AI, well, the fact is we cannot run away from AI, even in academia. The only thing I'm not telling you is that you can use AI to write your papers for you, because right now universities Turnitin. Most universities are using Turnitin as a plagiarism checker. But Turnitin has also been fitted these days with AI detectors. So this Turnitin, if you use an AI tool like, let's say, ChatGPT to write your document, like your proposal or your thesis, when your university submits it to Turnitin will show that you used AI. But the tool I'm going to show you, the AI tool I'm going to show you that will help you read your paper, is not going to help you write, but it is going to help you extract information out of a paper so that you don't have to go around reading the whole paper. It will show you that these are the key points. This is the summary of this paper. These are the, you will see when I start demonstrating, it's really going to help you. You will understand it more or better when I now start demonstrating. But then I will start with a short presentation before I now get into the real demonstration. So this tool is called Scholastic. And Scholastic, you have two options. There is Scholastic that is for free, that you can just go and Google this word, Scholastic, on the internet, and you can use that one to summarize. It's called an article summarizer. You can summarize 3 papers per day. Then you have to wait for another day to summarize another 3 papers, wait for another day. But then there is what we call the premium version that will allow you to summarize even 1,000 papers in one day. And then you can now sit down and now start synthesizing and just reading them around. So the premium version is around, I think it's around $4 per month. So you can plan which time you are free or which time you want to start writing, and then you can now go and, okay, I can subscribe for 1 month. I just pay $4, subscribe for 1 month. I use it. Once I'm done with it, I just discontinue my subscription. Or if you want to go and try the free version, you can try the free version, but you can only summarize 3 papers in a day. Now, how does Scholastic help students? Now, students find approaching complex academic literature easier and less daunting in Scholastic. So it's difficult. Scholastic will make this complex academic literature very easy to understand. I will show you. And I also said when I started, if English is not your first language, like for me, my first language, for example, is my mother tongue, and then let's say our national language is Kiswahili. So it means that I'm also struggling with English because I have to learn English. I was taught English. So it means that sometimes when I'm reading papers, and if the paper is very complex, it becomes very difficult for me because English itself is difficult for me. Then now the paper is again complex. But Scholastic is going to synthesize that complex paper for you in a way that is very easy for you to understand, okay? It can also, it also helps students by managing the reading list in a more efficient and stress-free way. And let me just, okay. I think these are just some of the concepts of how it works, but then I think it's better when I just demonstrate it directly. That will make it easier rather than this one is just going to consume a bit of our time. I just want to go directly to Scholastic so that we can see what it looks like. When you go to the Scholastic that is the premium version, the free version, you just go and Google online, and you will be able to access it. Then you can summarize only 3 papers every day. But then the premium version that I am going to show you has more features, and it will also allow you to summarize as many papers as you want in any day. Even if you want to summarize 1,000 papers in one day, you can summarize 1,000 papers using the version, the premium version that I am going to show you. I don't know why it's taking time to download, to load. I'll try to look for, I don't know whether, just give me 1 minute. I think it could be the internet because I'm also sharing my screen. But I think what I wanted to show, what I want to tell you is that when you use Scholastic, let me just show you using this. When you come here, Scholars. Okay, I don't know which screen you are seeing. Are you seeing the Scholastic screen where I have done Google search? Nicole, which screen are you seeing?
We are seeing the Scholastic, the Google search for Scholastic.
Thank you, thank you. So if anybody wants to try Scholastic for free, when you Google Scholastic, just as I have done, you will find the first option that comes. You need to click on the first option. But then if you just want to try the article summarizer that you can try for free, you can come and click on article summarizer. When you click on article summarizer, this one will allow you to summarize 3 papers every day. So in a day, you can only summarize a maximum of 3 papers. So this one will allow you to summarize 3 papers in a day. I think that is what I want to make it very clear. But then if you choose the first option, the Scholastic, the first option that says Scholastic Knowledge Made Simple, let's click on that, and then I will show you the premium version, how the premium version looks like. I don't know why it's taking a bit of time to load. I don't know whether it is my internet. My internet is just good. It's taking a bit of time to load, but what I was just explaining is that you can use this to summarize your papers and read them in an easy way. I want to demonstrate. I just don't know what is happening to my network. It should be able to load. I even accessed it a few minutes ago before the training. I don't know why it's not. Okay. I think it's acting up for now. Nicole, maybe I can allow you to play the recording as I try to fix this, and then we can now demonstrate Scholastic at the end, and then now have the questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay. So you can just stop sharing your screen.
Okay. So I'll try to fix my internet, and then after you've looked at the recording, now whatever is going to be played is a recording of where can you index your books? Maybe you have written a book, or you want to read certain books, but you don't know where you can get them in open access. So maybe you can watch that as I try to fix the internet.
Hi everyone, my name is Wilson de Souza. I'm regional manager here.
Can you just confirm if you had that so that I can know that the audio is okay?
From my side is okay.
Okay.
In Knowledge Unlatched, and today I will present to you a little bit of Knowledge Unlatched, but most important, I will present to you the Open Research Library. So the main point of this presentation for you is, first of all, as I mentioned, to present what is Knowledge Unlatched, the initiative, but the main point is to present you the Open Research Library, that is a central hosting platform for open access content. And the main point is really to emphasize to you the benefits for students and teachers, for librarians, and also for researchers and the academic open access publishers. So first of all, what is Knowledge Unlatched? So in short, Knowledge Unlatched, it's an initiative. It's a kind of crowdfunding platform for open access collections with emphasis on the humanities and social science books. Here we are talking about mostly about books. So in short, we offer a structure for libraries and institutions around the world to come together and co-finance the publication of open access academic books. So each of them share a piece of the costs to pay this content as open access. And that also means not just that everyone around the world can read and access this content, but this also means that the author won't have to pay any BPC for this content to be published. So our vision is really to create a sustainable market where books and academic journals also are freely accessible to all readers in the world. So Knowledge Unlatched, this year, 2023, it's our year number 10. We are really proud of that. And now we not just offer different collections that the institution can support financially, but also, as I present for you today, we have a central hosting platform for open access content. We also have a forum around open access topics, and we also offer to institutions around the world a service that calls Weibo to help the institutions to manage open access agreements. Just to give you a kind of overview about Knowledge Unlatched and what we do with institutions around the world. So I also like to show to you a little bit the results that we achieved so far. So I would bring the attention to the books unlatched, more than 4,000. That means that we published as open access more than 4,000 academic books, and as I mentioned, without the author paying any kind of fee, and with the support of mostly libraries around the world. So the number of institutions that already supported at least one of our collections, it's almost 700. Journals that we also have different initiatives for journals that were made open access. Now it's more than 50, and the total number of usage interaction for all this content that we made open access with the support of institutions, it's now more than 22 million. So we are really glad that we are achieving these results with the important support of institutions around the world. If you want more details about Knowledge Unlatched and our collections, please be in touch with me, wilson@knowledgeunlatched.org, and I will be happy to give you more details. And all this content, they are hosted in Open Research Library, the books, and also we have a link that you can access all these journals that are open access. But as I mentioned before, today the main point is really to present you quickly the Open Research Library. That is a central open access hosting platform. What we heard from libraries around the world and the institutions is that when we are talking about open access content, sometimes for students and also for librarians, it's difficult to it could be challenging to find all this content in different hosting platforms. So we really want to offer something more central for all this open access content. And the main point here is really to offer something user-friendly to the academic community. So here we are talking about not just the content that were made open access via Knowledge Unlatched, but also content, thousands of books, chapters, academic posters, and also videos, academic videos that are hosted from different publishers in different idioms in Open Research Library. So first of all, I will just emphasize the benefits to the main benefits to you, and I will do a quick demo just to show how it looked like. I think that it's better to show how it works in a practical way, but I will just emphasize quickly the benefits for different stakeholders, let's say, in the academic community. So for students and teachers, as I mentioned, we really want to provide one single place to your academic community to have access to this content. So the platform, it's really user-friendly. It's really easy to create your own account, to add notes and bookmarks, especially to students. Sometimes could be challenging to keep everything in one place. So we offer that a completely free service. You can access that. You don't have to access this content using the IP from your university. So the students can access using the internet at home or either in the faculty or in the university. And it's really interesting to say that this content can be safely recommended by the teachers, because we are talking about here about content that's perpetually open access. What we heard from some libraries in the past is that sometimes they pay to have access to a content and a package content from a publisher, and then out of a sudden the content is not there anymore. And that's not the case here. All the content that is hosted in open access, in Open Research Library, they will be there perpetually as open access, and most important, for free. So we know that all the institutions are around the world, they are facing budget cuts, especially to invest in more content or to acquire content. So we really think that the Open Research Library could be a good solution and a free solution in that sense. It's quality content, it's peer review content, and then it's just available there to, as I mentioned, to your students and teachers to take advantage of. To librarians, as I mentioned, all this content is there, available, and you can index all this content in your library system if you have one, and if you want to index all this content that I mentioned to you. So it's really easy, just going in the platform, you can find the metadata info, and then you can download the MARC records, or if you have a discovery system, you can activate the collections there. So about interoperability, the Open Research Library supplies metadata feeds in many formats like MARC, OAI, OPDS, and all these feeds also contains links directly to the source content files for easy download. I will show to you how it works. The platform, it's really secure, as we are monitoring all the time if anything suspicious is happening. We really keep monitoring to make sure that everything is working properly, and that we don't have any kind of problem in that sense. So as I mentioned, the Open Research Library, we don't want to replace the other open access platforms, but the main point here is really to offer a central hosting platform for open access content, especially providing a better user experience, as I mentioned, by creating notes, by adding bookmarking or list marking. So it's really easy also to use all the advanced search feature that we have. Also easily navigate. It's really easy to navigate by checking by the name of authors, publishers, and languages I will demonstrate to you. And here I think that's really important to all institutions related to TCC Africa is the benefit for the researchers. So as a hosting platform that is freely operating around the world, we have a big audience for this content. So if your institution wants to somehow emphasize the impact of their research, it's possible to host the content from your researchers also in Open Research Library. So there are some rules. The publications must be scholarly monographs that went through a peer review process and that are available either in a PDF or EPUB format. But here I think that's really powerful feature, let's say, in Open Research Library. We are not just talking about English content. We host also content in different idioms and regional languages, including the African Union International languages as Arabic, English, as I mentioned, French, Portuguese, Swahili, and the national languages and indigenous languages. If you want to do that and help your researchers to increase the impact by disseminating to a new audience, please be in touch with Pablo or again with me, and I will connect with him to help you in this process. And then here we are in the Open Research Library. As I mentioned before, I really like the way that the navigate here. You can use the advanced features to do the advanced search to do your search. For example, you can choose if you want to see, for example, the content that is in a specific language, for example, Afrikaans, we can do that, and then we will see all the content that is available in this language, and then you can cross details to do your advanced search. So also, let's just use one topic here just for you to see how to navigate through this content. So you can use the search engine easily, but if you want to click in one of the topics, you can easily do that. Here in the corner, you will see that you can use different filters, as I mentioned before, in this topic. So for example, the language, the publisher, place of publication. So it's quite intuitive, I would say. But let's say that you did your search and then that you want to read the content or to see more details. So here, as I mentioned, there are several features that you can use. For example, you can download this content. You can add as a favorite. You will see more information like the license type, the publisher, the ISBN, and also the citations that I think that could be really important. Again, if you want to read this content or to interact with this content, you can just click in the button read, and then you can easily navigate using the arrows to read the content. And then what is really interesting here and really useful to readers, but also you can bookmark this page, and also, for example, create your own notes. So it's really easy. You can just type whatever you want and you can save, and then after that this will be saved in your profile, in your account. So now to finish our presentation, we really believe that the Open Research Library, it's a free resource, a powerful free resource to your institution that is available completely free, and we strongly recommend you to promote this in your academic community. So if you have a page in your website for open access recommended resources page, you can just get the URL of the web page or the site, the website, and you can add this in your open access resource page. But also we recommend that you promote that using the ways that you would like or would prefer. For example, using your own social media, if you have a newsletter, and sharing this information with your professors and teachers. If you need more details also apart from this video, we can also share with you a kind of welcome page with more technical details. So what does all this mean for you, for your institution? So we really want to encourage you to take benefit of this content, accessing all this content at no cost. So as I mentioned, the Open Research Library, it's a user-friendly platform that is easy to access and it's ready for use by your academic community. And as I mentioned, all content is perpetually open access, so your teachers and the students can use it without worrying about being removed from our platform. And again, just to emphasize, if you want to host the content from your institution, the researchers from your institution, to make it more accessible for a new audience, you can also be in touch with me or with Pablo via email, and then I will help you. So thank you so much for your time. If you have any doubts, please share with Joy or with me directly, wilson@knowledgeunlatched.org. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for playing that for researchers. And now, at least you know, if you are a researcher in a university or if you are a researcher in a university or in a research institution and you want to look at these open access books, or you published a book and you want to index it, you know, you can easily reach out to TCC Africa or to Pablo. This recording, of course, will be shared, so you get those emails. You can easily ask questions. But accessing books has been a challenge, especially open access books by so many researchers. So you can be able to access books there. Now, I had a problem sharing. I think there was a problem with my internet for a bit of some minutes. So I will now share with you the AI tool that is Scholastic that I wanted to show you how to use. And then we can now get a few questions after that. I will just share my screen here so that you remember I told you that you can use the free version where you can summarize 3 papers. So when you do the Google, when you Google, you can go to the free summarizer, the free article summarizer, and summarize 3 papers per day. But if you are using the premium version, I think there is information on the chart how much is charged. You can easily summarize as many papers in a day as you want, even if you want to do 1,000 of them. Now, once you do, when you sign up for the premium version, which is around I think it's around $4.99, you will be given all these credentials, and then you can log into Scholastic. I just want to show you the premium version so that you see how powerful this tool is. And then now I can challenge you to, because there is also institutional subscription. So maybe if your university or research institution is interested in this, you can reach out to TCC or you can reach out directly to Scholastic, and then they can help you get institutional subscription as well. But the most important thing I want to bring to your attention is that instead of reading the paper manually, like reading from the start to the end, you can easily, okay, I will share this. Once you log in, I don't know what is happening with this website today. I don't know whether it is the website. So once you log in, this is what you are going to find. Let me just go back to my library so that we can see what it looks like. I don't know whether there is just a little bit of a problem with the site. It's still, but then I'll just show you from here. Once you log in, once you put in your details, this is what you're going to find. You're going to get to a point where you will, I don't know what is happening with Scholastic today. Let me just hope it works. Because the other websites are loading very fast. I don't know why Scholastic is having a problem. I don't know why it's having issues. Okay. Maybe we can, if we have questions, we can start handling them for the tool that we have demonstrated as I try to find what the problem is with Scholastic. I don't know why it is not loading. If there are any clarifications that you need, we can start talking about them. Anybody with maybe if somebody has a question that they want answered.
Thank you very much, Prof. My name is Shafi, and I really appreciate the effort and the work you have done. And it's really great, and I could see. So, two things. One is about when you were talking about the projects that, example, the countries, institutions in the different countries in Somalia or Kenya or whatever. I could see like in Somali National University where they're 13, then, but does it show like project by project? It says like, okay, example, we are researchers, then out of the 13, does it say, okay, there's a research project about this? So does it show the database you have shared, or which out of the 13, let's say it's about article publication or about research in health or research about in economics. So because I could only see in general, so I don't know whether there's any detail about out of the 13. That's one. The other thing is nowadays the AI, a lot of people, they may believe that they make the people lazy and people are not getting the knowledge. And so do you think that it is obstacle for the knowledge, gaining knowledge, and people makes that they should not be able to produce their own, like let's say another way, it reduces the creativity. So everyone 90% relies on the AI. So the person does not want to brainstorm. So whenever you ask something, then just the person rushes to the AI and then asks like to help. So do you think that this kind of technology, it reduces the usage of our brain, and so it is obstacle rather than an opportunity to the academic wise? So we are more about like positivism, whereby we have to get right or wrong. So there is no like no knowledge that we can come about with our own like yeah, so our own ways or method, our own ways and means, rather than dependent on this technology. So that's my two comments, questions. Thank you very much, Prof.
Thank you. For the first one, I think we can go back to the site. I have a bit, I don't know what is wrong with the Scholastic website. It's just rotating and it's not loading. I don't know whether it is on their end. I don't know. But anyway, if it does not work, then we will, there is, I think there are earlier recordings that demonstrate how it is used. So I think maybe, Nicole, you can share that with them later. I think we have done so many of them, and the demonstration is in other recordings. So maybe when you are sharing the recordings of this, you can also share the recordings of maybe the last webinar that had Scholastic in it. Is that okay?
Yes. But also we can have them join the other session on Thursday. I think it's for the Zambia community. So
Yes.
maybe we can share with them the registration link and then they can also join. Maybe that date will be working okay.
Yeah, I think there's a problem with because everything else, you see, even my Zoom is okay. It means that the internet is not a problem. I think the problem is with the website, maybe. So we can allow them now to join the next, the one on, it will be on Thursday, right?
Yes, Thursday at 12.
Yeah, so I think that will work. Now, I want to go back to the question that has been asked about if you have projects, what sort of details do we get when you, let me just, okay. I don't know what is happening. It's okay. Now, before I answer that question, I have noted them somewhere, no problem. I will demonstrate to you, Scholastic. It has finally it has come. It has finally agreed to work. Now, when you log into Scholastic and what you are talking about, I'm happy that one question is about already the use of AI in academia, whether it kills creativity and it makes people lazy. That okay, I will throw it out to AI and AI will give me a solution. I will address that. The other one was about on dimensions, the kind of details that you can get. Now, let me just demonstrate how you use Scholastic and how it will help you, because then partly that will also help me answer the question about the use of AI in academia. The truth, when I started saying, is we cannot run away, we cannot bury our heads in the sand and say that we will never use AI in academia, because AI is becoming commonplace in almost everything. But it's about how responsibly can we use AI. As I said, Scholastic does not write papers for you. Scholastic does not help you in writing, but it only helps you in contextualizing the paper. So maybe it is written in a very complex way and you want to extract information out of it. Scholastic will point out to you and show you that these are the key points that you can get out of that paper. Oh, this is the shortest and the most compact summary of the paper that you have in front of you. So I just want to show you. Now, once you come to your Scholastic, once you log in using the details that you will be given, you have to first of all start by creating your library. Now I have several libraries. I will create a library specific to Somalia. As an example, once you create your library and click on save, then you now have a library. But within the library, you can create folders within the library. Okay. Let's say we want to, because when you are saving your papers, even in your how do you say, even in your laptop, what happens is you create you create them under different folders, so that when you each folder has its own name, so it's very easy for you when you want to get a paper, you know, okay, when I go to this folder, I'm going to get papers in this field. So let's say the folders we are creating under, we have created a library, and that library is called Somalia. In that library, we want to create folders. So one is going to be, let's say, food security. Maybe you are doing research on food security. You can create your first folder. You can create another folder again, maybe that is called aquaculture. As an example, you can create as many folders as you want, okay? As many as you want. Now, within those folders, you must upload papers for you to be able to read. You cannot read papers if they are not uploaded onto Scholastic. You have to upload them there so that you can be able to read them. If you don't upload them, then there's no way you can be able to read them. How do you upload papers onto your folders or into your library? There are several ways. When you click to import, you can choose files. So it means when you click on choose files, it means it will allow you to upload papers directly from your computer. The same way you can upload a paper when you are sending it as email, it will allow you to, when you click on choose files, it will take you back to your computer, and so that you can browse where your paper is. So you can say, okay, the paper is on the desktop. You click on choose files here, and then you can bring papers from your desktop and bring them to Scholastic. That is one way. The second one is you can, when you click on enter URL, it means that if you have a paper and you have the DOI of that paper or the URL of that paper, you can copy that URL and click here. Then once you bring the URL, you can be able to now upload. When you click, Scholastic will upload that paper from the URL and then bring it to your library. The other one is when you have a paper on some cloud storage somewhere, maybe you have a paper on Google Drive or Dropbox or Online Drive or Zotero, you can upload, you can click on that Google Drive, or you can click on Dropbox or OneDrive, and then you can upload papers from there. So what I've shown you is you can upload papers, you can upload files from your computer, you can bring in, you can type or paste, copy and paste the URL of the DOI of a paper, and the paper will be uploaded. Or you can also bring your papers that are on Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, or Zotero. So those are the ways through which you can import papers into your library. I don't want to go into the process of importing papers because the internet is also a bit shaky. So we might, I've just shown you how to import, so you can be able to import them. But I want to show you using papers that are already on my computer, so that on my library, so that it's easier for us to use this for demonstration. Now, one of the libraries that I have is called Aquaponics. So in Aquaponics, I have so many papers. Now, when you upload papers, when they come onto Scholastic, they are no longer called papers. Let me just change this. When they come to Scholastic, they are not called papers now. Now they are going to be called flashcards. They are now called summary flashcards. They are not actually papers now. Scholastic has now, how do you say? Scholastic has now brought them, has now broken them down into what we call summary flashcards. Okay. Let me just go back and find one library that has more papers. I want to look at, there's a folder here that has, yes, this folder has more papers. So these are the papers that are here. I have 512 papers that I uploaded. Now, as I said, once they are uploaded, they are no longer called papers. They are now called summary flashcards. Now, all these are summary flashcards, and let's say, let me just use the word papers. All these are papers that are now on your library, that you uploaded on your library. All these are papers on your library. Now, let us say you want to read this paper. Maybe you want to read, I'll choose one paper at random. Maybe you want to read this paper. What you do, you just click on that paper, and then you want to see how Scholastic has summarized this paper for you. This one is now the title, of course, of the paper. If you click on this arrow, it will take you directly to where this paper was published, so you can go and read it there, no problem. But then you see, Scholastic has summarized this paper under all these subsections that I'm going to show you, okay? Now, let us start by key concepts. When you click on key concepts, Scholastic is going to bring to you all the key concepts that are used in that paper. So these key concepts are the main concepts that are relevant to the paper that have been used within the paper. So if you don't understand what vertical farming is, when you click on this key concept, Scholastic will take you directly to the Wikipedia definition of vertical farming. If you don't know what hydroponics is, if you don't know what microorganism is, so that is the first thing that Scholastic does for you. Scholastic takes that paper and it extracts what it calls key concepts. The other thing that Scholastic will do for you is highlights. When you click on highlights, these are the main points that Scholastic has picked from the paper. It has scanned through the paper and picked out what it thinks are the highlights from the paper, the main points, okay? So if you want to get the highlights and the main points from the paper, you just come here. Scholastic has picked all the main points from the paper. So you can easily read it and see, okay, these are the main points that are from that paper. Now, the other thing that I want to show you before we come to abstract is synopsis. Now, the English word for synopsis is like, let's say it's like a summary, but like a synthesis. Now, this synopsis is like a summary of this paper, the simplest summary, okay? The simplest summary that you can get of this paper. So you can also read a synopsis of this paper rather than reading the paper word by word. But I want to show you what now we call the Scholastic summary. Now, this one summarizes. This is not, let me use a different paper. This one maybe was not organized in a very good way. I want to show you, I just want to, maybe there's one that looks better. I don't think there is. I just want to show, I really want to find a paper that has all the sections, like the introduction, the title, the abstract, the introduction, so that we can be able to demonstrate. Let me just see what is here. Okay. Let me use maybe this as an example. I hope it is organized well. Now, this is one of the papers that have been brought on to Scholastic. So this is the paper that you want to read. Let's say you have looked for literature and you have downloaded this paper and you now want to start reading this. What Scholastic will do for you is to summarize this paper in a way that is very easy for you. Now, imagine this is a summary of the whole paper, but one that you can even tweet. So if you want to tweet anything out of this paper, you can easily just tweet this. Then what it does also, it now summarizes for you in the, as I said, the key concepts are summarized. If you don't know what these key concepts mean, when you click on a key concept, it will give you a definition of that key concept. Scholastic has also extracted what we call the highlights from the paper. What are the highlights? What are the highlights? Like the first highlight is for the first 11 days, the growing, the flowering stage, all this. So these are the highlights from the paper. Then the synopsis, as I said, is also a summary of the paper, but like a simpler summary, the most simplified summary. But then you can also do what we call, now this is the summary of the whole paper. This is how Scholastic has now summarized this paper for you. It has summarized the introduction for you. It has summarized the methods for you. It has summarized the results for you. It has summarized the discussion for you. It has summarized the conclusion for you. So this paper can be a very long paper. But if you want to get a summary of this paper, imagine you just come and read under Scholastic summary here, and you are going to get all this. See, it has summarized the introduction, the methods is summarized for you, the results are summarized for you, the discussion is summarized for you. So you don't have to read all this and you know, you can get lost in all the text that is written there. The other thing that I want to show you here is this feature that is called enhance. Now, if you come to enhance under Scholastic summary, maybe you want to now read the summary of each section. You come and enhance. When you click on enhance and click on researcher, and then you click on enhance, it is now going to reorganize this summary in a way that a researcher can benefit more. So because you've made it clear that you want to read this as a researcher, it is going to add more information. You can see now when you click on enhance, you see now it has it has reorganized the summary of this paper. It has started by summarizing a small background. It has also now organized the methods for you, the results for you, the conclusion, but it has also now brought about the experimental design. Because Scholastic now feels that you want to read this paper as a researcher, not like an ordinary reader. So it has now brought about for you the experimental design, solution preparation and plant measurements, harvest and analysis, data analysis, effects of that on cannabis sativa. So it has now added a bit more information so that when you are reading this paper, under all this, you can now be able to get a more detailed summary of the paper, but that is brought in a way that you don't have to read the whole paper looking for this information. So all this is summarized for you in a way that you can easily now just get whatever you want. So let's say, okay, I'm reading this paper. What I want to focus on is only the methods. The methods is summarized for you. I'm reading this paper, but I just want to see the results, the main results, okay? You can find, okay, the main results are here. I'm reading this paper, but I want to see the experimental design that was applied. You can always find the experimental design. How was the solution prepared and the plant measurements? How was this done? So Scholastic helps you understand this paper in a way that is simpler than when you want to start reading it word by word. But it goes one step further to do what we call comparative analysis. Now, Scholastic will tell you that the paper you are reading differs from previous work. How does it differ from previous work, that what other people did? Let's say you are doing your work and now you want to now discuss and compare your work with other people. Scholastic will tell you that this paper that you are reading currently, this is how it differs with other work. This is how it builds on previous research. This is how it confirms earlier findings. This is where it confirms, you see. That comparative analysis is very important for you as a researcher. Let's say you are doing literature review and you want to see that other researchers got different results, other researchers differed with the kind of analysis or the kind of information that is presented in the current paper that you are reading. Scholastic will help you do that under what we call comparative analysis. So that is how powerful this tool is. So you don't have to go, when you are reading one paper, you can easily now find the other papers that also did the same work, whether it agrees or whether it disagrees with the other works, you see? So that is how also powerful, apart from just the Scholastic summary, you can also now go ahead and look at where it differs with the other research. So for a student who is doing comparative analysis, it's very easy for you. You can easily go and say, okay, this work, this is what other people did, this their results, and this is how it differs with the kind of. So when you are doing literature synthesis, it's very easy for you to compare under the comparative analysis function of Scholastic. So as I have shown you, you can do the key concepts. There is the highlights. There is the synopsis, as I've shown you. There is the Scholastic summary, and also there's comparative analysis that I have shown you. Now, there's what we call the spotlight. I want to show you the spotlight feature. This spotlight feature, when you click on it, on the left, you can see the contribution of other people, what these researchers, their contribution. It is highlighted in a different color. But you can also, when you click on important points, you can easily also pick out the important points from this paper using this spotlight feature, okay? Now, what can you do apart from that? What can you do on Scholastic? The other thing that you can do on Scholastic is you can export your summary flashcards. These cards that I'm showing you. Let me just go back to one of my libraries and show you something here. Let us say you want to read these papers, these summary flashcards that I will show you, but you don't want to read them online, you want to read them offline. What you can do is you can come here and select these papers. You can select the papers, you can even select all. We have selected all, and then you can export. When you come down here, you can export. So you can export as Word. Let us say we want to export as Word. So when you export as Word, it means that the flashcard that I was showing you online, you can now go and read them as Word documents. So each paper has been summarized as a Word document, and you can now be able to read it as a Word document. Okay, this is taking a bit of time because I think the internet. So when you export, this is what happens when you. I want to just show you what it will look like when you export. When you export as Word, this is what you are going to have. I'll stop sharing. I have shown you that you can export your library, your summary flashcards. If you don't want to read them online, you can export, and when you export, you read them as a Word document. You saw the different sections that I was showing you. I was showing you the abstract. So let's say this is the paper that you are reading on Scholastic, and now you have exported it as Word. So anytime, even when you are not online, you can easily still just read your document. It is all the synopsis is here. It's now in form of Word document. The key points are here. The summary is all here, the whole summary. The summary has been summarized in terms of introduction, the objectives, the findings, the discussion. This is now the conclusion, the summary. So each of those papers has been summarized. All of them have been summarized, So you can easily now read them, including the references. You can easily now read them offline if you don't want to keep reading them on Scholastic. So you can export and download them, and then now read them as Word documents instead of reading them online as summary flashcards. So you can easily export your summary flashcards and read them offline. Now, you can also export, you can select and export. Instead of now exporting as Word, you can also export as Excel. See, you can even export as Excel so that you can see I'm now exporting as Excel spreadsheet. So when you export as Excel, I want to show you what you will see when you export as Excel. I'm not going to, because the internet has been bringing problems. I just want to show you with the ones that I had exported already. So when you export as Excel, when you export your summary flashcards as Excel, you remember the comparative analysis function. Now, each paper is now brought here. Each paper is now brought here with all these details. So the paper that you exported has the title, the type, the author, all those. But then all the sections of the summary flashcards are here. The findings are here, the highlights, the objectives, the method, the result, the conclusion, the limitation, the future works. You see, the funding, all these are here. You can easily now, as Excel, you can easily now compare papers based on certain criteria that you can set. But the most important thing I want to bring to your attention is that you can use Scholastic to summarize your papers the way I have shown you. I want to answer the question that was asked about the use of AI and how that makes us lazy. Of course, as I said in the beginning, when you are writing your papers and you use AI to write your papers, when you send it to the professors or when you submit it, Turnitin that most universities are using is now fitted with AI detectors. So it will scan for plagiarism, but also scan for AI content in the same breath. So you cannot use AI to write your work. What Scholastic is doing is, Scholastic is just helping you extract information, but then you still have to synthesize. You cannot just copy it and again paste it on your document, because then you shall have plagiarized the work. So AI is, the work of Scholastic is just to make you be able to find out what are the keywords instead of reading the whole paper. What are the keywords and what is the summary of this paper, so that you can now synthesize it further in an easier way than when you want to start reading. Maybe it's a very complex document. Maybe it is written in a language, in English, but the English could be very heavy. So that you don't struggle with the heavy English, it can summarize so that you read a summary that is easier to understand. The other thing that was asked, so that I can also give, I see we are also consuming a bit of time. I want to go back to the demonstration that I showed on dimensions, so that I can answer the question that was asked about the grants. Now, there was a question on the amount of information that you get when you are looking at grants. So let us say we are filtered by territory. So we want to, our first filter, let's say Somalia. So Somalia, then we limit to Somalia. So right now, we are only looking at grants that are in Somalia, or those that are related to Somalia, or that Somalia is participating in. The other thing that we said that is we are looking at the university. So when you click on research, after filtering by country, when you click on research organization, it will start by listing the research organization with the highest number. So we are talking about grants here, not publications. Okay. Now, it will start when you click on research organization. We see that Somalia National University has the highest number of grants right now. And then when you click on researcher, we want to see the researchers that have the highest number of grants in Somalia, for example. This is the person with the highest number of grants. So that is the information you can get, but you can also still get grant status, whether it is active or not. Then you can also set the start year and the active year. Those ones you can still set. So you can also check and see the research categories. You can check within what research fields is this. So you can say, okay, I want only grants that are in the field of human society or health sciences. These are the filters that you can still use to see. So yes, the amount of information you can see based on grants is the researchers who are doing this. So let's say this is the grant that you are looking at, this one. When you click on that, it will give you more information. It will give you the universities that are participating, but it will also give you the names of the people who are participating in this. So when you click on the original description, it will give you the exact description of the research, the original description of the research grant that was there. So that is the amount of information that you can get from here if you apply those specific filters. But indeed, yes, I'm not telling people to go and use ChatGPT to write their proposals. I'm not telling them to use ChatGPT or any AI tool to write their thesis. That will make them, one, you'll be caught. And secondly, you really don't think critically when you throw everything to AI and you now start telling it to write for you. But what Scholastic is doing is not writing for you. Scholastic is just extracting the main points, but then you still, of course, still have to synthesize and reason around those key points so that you also get to understand them before you put them in your writing. Anybody who has maybe any other question? We are moving towards the top of the hour. Any other question? I will stop sharing now. I'll only be answering questions, those that I can answer, of course.
I think there are no many other questions except one additional question that comes from Dr. Shafi'i. He says that, how can I get the link of this web? Maybe you can answer that. Thank you.
Yes, I don't know whether he's talking about the Scholastic. Scholastic is very easy to access. I think, as I showed you, when you how do you say, when you Google Scholastic, it's just scholastic.com. I think it's very easy. You just Google scholastic.com and then you will find a direct link to it. So it's not difficult to really reach. So just Google Scholastic. It's easy on the internet. You will just find, and you can be able to subscribe or reach out to TCC Africa if you need guidance. We will always be here to guide you. Okay. Maybe I'm seeing people just saying this was useful, and I'm happy that people find it useful. So, Nicole, maybe if you have anything to say before, maybe, because also we don't keep people for too long.
Thank you very much. I really do appreciate, and I want to thank you for your time and your efforts. And we have learned a lot, really. And hopefully, Scholastic, we will go in and even we will share our students and our colleagues. And hopefully, we want to be a part of this, those who are wanting to use, because I really understand now what it's meant for. And I do appreciate. And hopefully, I want to join for this. Scholastic, and yeah, be part of it. And thank you very much.
Yeah, you can always reach out to TCC anytime. We will be able to provide more information. We'll be able to provide more guidance. But the most important thing is, I think it's good to go and try these tools, try the more dimensions, try knowledge at last, try the Scholastic, and if in case there are questions, because in a demonstration like this, it's difficult for me to show everything. But then if you try it yourself and then you find, okay, this is not very clear, then you can easily reach out and say, okay, I was trying to use dimensions, but then I have a problem here. Can you explain? It's easier now to even do one-on-one explanation to one person at a time. So anytime, any day. And I'm grateful that you got time to organize this. This is not really some small thing. For those who are here, I think this is a chance to also share with other people. Even as you try them around, try also share with other people so that they can also benefit from this.
Okay, so if there's no any other further questions, I want to thank everyone for joining today's session. I will share the recordings in your emails. Once the recording is already done and edited, I will share it with you, and also the emails to our various partners who will guide you on accessing them in case you have challenges in accessing any of the solutions. And you'll have the email to Mr. Outa as well, so that he can also guide you. And also you'll have my emails in case you have any questions or you'd like to have these sessions for your individual institutions. Just let me know, and then we will organize from there. Yeah, so that's it from my end.
Thank you so much, and I think everybody have a good afternoon. I hope to meet you again, and I hope to interact more with you. Reach out to TCC Africa and the other partners. We are here to support. Thank you, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you too, Nicholas and for your conduct of this webinar. I think participants of this webinar have utilized it and will use it on any challenges we are here for operate. Thank you very much.